Welcome to Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Pierson Mills. We're going to be covering the greater areas of Las Vegas all the way to Pahrump and Mesquite, talking about trends, events, sports, and more. I'm super excited to welcome all of our guests this year and have a great time, which is everything Unlocking Las Vegas. Welcome back to the Unlocking Las Vegas podcast with your host, Erin Pierson Mills and
Farras C. Hello, I'm back.
Hi, with your absolutely jarring neon summer nails. Wow. Girl, I'm an 80s child. I love neon so much, but I crawled into my nail salon yesterday and went, I want French.
No, that's cute. Well, you know why I do it?
No.
It's because it makes me look tanner.
Oh, yeah. That's
so then
why
I'll go orange and then I'll do green. And so
I'm all for neon. I'm all for neon. So how has your summer been in 180 freaking degrees here in Las Vegas? It's so fun when it gets to this shade of hell.
So yesterday I was driving and each time I drove a little further, it kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I was like, it's 110, 112, it says 114. But because I work from home, You had no idea. I literally had no idea. Like, whenever I go outside, I'm like, oh man, it's hot. Like it gets progressively hotter each time. And I'll be honest, I wear sweatpants inside and I'm freezing half the time. So, but hey, I did my part in the sun for years. I worked outside. So, praying for everyone who works outside, drink lots of water.
I'm gonna up that. So Craig works outside for both of his jobs in valet and in home inspections. Yeah. And I think the best thing that he has found, he loves those hydration sticks that you get at Costco.
Liquid IV.
And coconut water.
Very good.
Coconut water, very high in carbs, but very good for hydration, natural stuff. So that, even better than Gatorade, that's just my little thing right now.
I mean, Gatorade, Powerade, all those sports drinks have so much sodium in it, it'll actually deplete you. So I completely agree. And as far as coconut water being carbs, you're burning it anyways. So it just replenishes the body.
Yes, I know. So, I mean, I spend half the day outside anyway, because we have a new series. I know we talked about it, I think, last week, but it's, what can you get in Las Vegas, right? So far we've dropped $399,000. We're talking about houses, kids, not bottles of Cristal next to the day clubs. I just have to, So we're showcasing from the affordable to the astronomical, because I think, we live in Vegas. It's very entertaining to see what is affordable, what does it look like, where's it located, and then everybody wants a visual snack of the, the astronomical.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be paying close to over $500,000 or below, you kind of want to see what you get. And honestly, being someone who has bought a home, who is rented, doing all these things, I go and check out new builds and, resales.
There'll be tons of those too.
I mean, it's some of these prices. I mean, if you're looking at a house, let's just say you're $650,000. For me, I'm going to be looking at the kitchen. I'm going to be looking at the
primary bathroom. I spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
To me, it's really not that much. I think more so now. Before it wasn't a big deal, and now that we're back in a rental, it's bathroom is a huge thing. I literally have no space in our bathroom, so it's definitely high on my list now. But kitchen for me is a big thing. If you're going to charge over $500,000 for a home and your kitchen is pretty basic, it's going to be a no for me.
It doesn't make you happy. Well, so where I live, and it's magical, and I'm doing a lot in my neighborhood. So it's the magical Southwest. I'm just going to call it behind Allegiant Stadium, so people understand. It's half-acre custom homes and above half acre, non-HOA, and it's just magical, right? We're at a higher price point because we don't have HOAs. We are on half an acre. We are custom. Okay. So for me, my thorn in my side since I bought the house from my parents about 26 years ago is that the custom builder put the septic tank in my backyard.
Yeah.
Never been able to actually put in a pool because it takes up the entire backyard.
Right.
So I guess even if we downsized after Rocco left or our next home, for me, even though I'm a total redhead and totally white, I need a pool. I need just a spool, a plunge pool, a little boop of water in my life. I feel poor. So in this Las Vegas, super, super heat, for me, it wouldn't be about the size of the home anymore because the kids are flocking the nest. But
or maybe you just need like something that gives you water feature. So like our current home, we filmed in it before, you guys have seen it. It's very lush. It has a lot of well-established plants. It has an entire canopy that's covered. And I was back there yesterday just kind of checking out different things. And it was actually a lot cooler. So, that's something that my husband has said to me. He said, hey, if we ever, buy another house, and let's say, because some of the homes that you're getting now that aren't on half acres, that aren't behind the stadium, that don't have kind of these established bigger backyards, you really want to think about what can you do to kind of give yourself either kind of a canopy, almost kind of feel, or some type of water feature
just a little oasis
that will give you like that kind of feel, so that you're not just like, oh, walk out and it's like, oh, desert landscape, everything's hardscape, it's hard and hot and all of that.
Yeah, so that's the hardest thing for me. But I don't have vision. I don't have design. I put that out there all the time. I'm very left brained.
I do.
I know. I'm not. Please don't ask me like what color to paint your house. I'm very monetary. I do numbers. I do math. That's where I'm a shark.
Right.
But I don't know if I could ever buy a brand new home build with a blank canvas backyard. I would literally have to hire a designer and be like, I saw this on the Housewives. Go.
Oh gosh,
I know.
So fun.
That's how I did my kitchen. I was literally watching a Housewives episode, and they film in their kitchens, and I took a picture and I sent it to my neighbor who actually does countertops and all the things.
Right.
And I was like, here's what I need. I'll give you 2 weeks. I'm going to be at Silverton. Call me when it's done.
Yeah.
Like black, white, go. Like, please don't ask me to make any decisions. I'm not that person. I think me and Craig would get a divorce if we had to build a home and I had to make a choice. I would die.
I mean, I'll have to second you on that, because I feel like it kind of depends on where you're at in your life. And I know we're going to kind of dive into this. It's like the choice that you make. It's like at that time, what are you feeling? Mm-hmm. Like, are you feeling this? Are you feeling kind of like that modern rustic, or are you feeling like modern chic? Like, how are you feeling in that season of your life? Like, I would be terrified. I love new builds because it's like, okay, you go in, it's clean, fresh. This is what it looks like. But if I had to say, okay, well, these are the type of countertops, these are the type of fixtures that
I made that choice and I have to live with this.
But I literally would be like, well, I like this one, and they're probably complete opposite. So I'm with you on that. I don't know if I could do that. I'd be like, I don't know what to do. Can someone just make the decision, because I might change my mind?
That's why I love the clients that I have. So I love the new home builds. You go in, they're beautifully designed, professional.
Boom, done.
And I was like, I can envision this. And then we'll pick the home, we'll go do the walkthrough, and I'm scared to death because it's open, empty, blank.
Yeah, there's
but
nothing
they
in there.
have this vision and know how to fill it. And I'd be like,
that is hard.
I would just Amazon lens everything in the model home and have it delivered and put it exactly that way.
You know what we did, even though we're not in the home anymore, we won't get into why, is when we moved into the new home for the few months we were there, I kept going to the models
and just been like, oh, I was like that.
Oh, wait, like I would take a picture and be
I need that plant.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, like I would see how they designed it and get ideas of how I would want that to match like my house. So, but
it's really funny. My mom is a fantastic designer, but she can't sing to save her life. And I was blessed with the singing gene, like in high school and stuff like that. It was magical. And she was like, I'd give anything to sing. And I was like, I'd give anything to put a wallscape together. So we're all blessed with gifts, and that's why we help each other.
Right.
So, okay, our topic today has been fascinating for me because I've gone through, let's even say in the last year, but I mean, even in real estate for 7 years, going on 8, it's you go through different periods of life with business and personal. Are you a yes person? Is it time to say yes? Or is it time to say no? And why and what that means?
I think it's a perfect topic for summer. I think everyone's kind of in that mode, whether you're, the kids are transitioning, some have graduated, some are going into middle school, maybe they're going into high school. Business is kind of crazy right now. Personal life, like what are you doing? You're spending time with family, going on vacations, we all know the world right now. It's buck wild out there. So when it relates to, your industry in general, I love the topic.
Okay. So I'm always the opposite of most everybody in my industry. Because what did I tell you? You loved what I said. When people check out, I lean in. Right. So that's always been my vibe. And so what I mean by that is I teach a lot of classes and I attend a lot of classes. And I've been seeing, literally, a really fun lender of mine said everybody loses their mind between Mother's Day and Father's Day because it's graduation season. If you have children in school, it's nuts. You do. I mean, you've got, all the concerts and all the things, and then you want to immediately take a vacation with your kids and you're figuring out how to entertain them. But I've seen a decrease in all of our classes, like astronomical, 50%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They'll even RSVP and not show up. And I am telling these people, I was like, and you know what? You can call me crazy and that is fine, but this is how I had to build my business. So during the summertime when people are pieced out, doing their vacations, I take mine at weirder times. Like I'm all in. So if you call me, like, on a Memorial Day Sunday, I'm like, let's go. Yeah, absolutely. And I never work harder than I do between Halloween and New Year's Eve. Like that's when I don't know, I say no to like a lot of parties and a lot of things because I want people to know that they're able to trust me. But okay. I did go to Detroit and I got to do like an amazing magical thing with this lending company and a great person on the stage, which I think that you should follow. And I had to talk to these people because he was right after lunch, this wonderful speaker, and he's a former NBA player. Okay. So they had him after lunch and he was just so jazzy and positive. What's his name? Okay. I'm going to spell it. It's Mateen Cleaves. So
Mateen Cleaves.
See, you're sportsy.
Well, my husband.
Yeah, it's sportsy. Okay. So you can look him up on Instagram at Mateen, Mateen Cleaves. So this beautiful black man, he gets up on the podium and he is just like, I love it. How you start your day, each day is a choice. How you go through each day, because me and The Secret, we're like this, right? I manifest that stuff all day long, positivity. And I talked to the people who brought me there and I was like, why didn't you start this guy first thing in the morning? Because by the time we got to lunch, we were so filled with numbers and wah. And then this guy brought us back to life. I'm like,
I'll tell you why they did that. Just because I've been hosting events for a while.
Well, no, I asked. He was busy in the morning time.
Well, there's that too, but it's also sometimes depending on events, like you want to position people exactly where you feel that there may be a womp womp. Like, you have someone that speaks really well, but they are going to kind of bring it down, and then you need someone to bring them back up. And it's kind of like this dance, and it's almost a roller coaster, where it's like you're up and then you're down, and then you're up and then you're down.
Yeah, I know the whole salesy thing when it comes to conventions.
But that's awesome.
But I loved him. Okay, so now innately, I feel like there are yes people and no people, not depending on anything.
Right.
Okay, I've literally always been a yes person, but let's break it down to business and personal.
Yeah.
So at this age, in my mid 40s, and I realize I only have 3 years left with Rocco in the house. Like I say no to tons and tons of personal relationship things. Like, I'm just not going to go like hang with the girls or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like you've kind of put yourself in a different category because there's not a lot of people that have the grit and the grind that you have to where it's constant.
It's from 3:45 a.m. to.
I'm not just saying that, but what I'm saying
constant
is
process in my head
all the time.
Yeah.
Like 24/7. Like
they have a name for that.
I know.
It's called a workaholic.
But it's not even a work thing. I think it's more of just like the drive that you have. You have to kind of have to be in this constant state of motion. And it's not that like you're saying yes to every opportunity, but you make things a priority and you're present in them. So, I mean, you said Rocco's only got so many amount of years. You only have so many amount of this. So it's like
so many amount of family dinners.
Well, there's only a certain amount of things that you focus on that are important to you, but you still keep the main thing, especially in business. If you probably would have asked me this question 3 years ago, I definitely would have said like, oh yeah, summertime is for this. Like I literally just had a conversation with my husband about it. And he goes, how was your day? I said, I don't know. I feel kind of weird. And he goes, why? And I said, because I feel like normally I'd be out swimming and hanging out with people and doing all that stuff. I said, and I'm not.
We're at that stage that we're building something kind of good. This is more exciting than hanging around at a pool.
It is. And I was like, do I have like FOMO? Do I feel like I'm FOMOing because I haven't actually been to the pool yet? Like, but I really just don't have the time. Yeah. Like I literally just don't have the time. Like I am working so much, I'm sacrificing so much, which I completely love, but I've noticed that I'm not doing the same things. So in a place of yes or no, it's going to be a more no for me, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's kind of diving into it. So I like to say, no matter what type of business that you're in, but we'll take real estate right now. Okay. So let's say when business is slow, like I don't have a lot in escrow, maybe.
I wouldn't necessarily say slow, maybe quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In my world. Okay. Yeah. A little quiet, like maybe only have a couple in escrow.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when I'm like, yeah, let's go say yes. I want to like go network and do more open houses, do more things, and get those clients in there and
referrals,
video more.
Right.
And then, but when I feel like, I have tons in escrow, then I'm going to back off a little bit. I mean, now you need to keep the ball rolling. You need to always be keeping new clients in your pipeline, but that's when I'm more like focused and drilled down to stay in the office, to create more informational videos, training videos, really do my client care. So I do feel like it ebbs and flows. So there was a point, when we started the social collective at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to say yes to a bunch of weird things I wouldn't normally say yes to, which means after 5 p.m. I'm going to go to networking events, which I normally wouldn't walk away from family to do, to see what's out there.
Right.
See what's out there. I paid to be a vendor.
Right.
Very, eclectic network marketing. And it did shoot me into different arenas, but then it gets tough. Then people are like, oh, like come to like this meet and greet, this happy hour, this cocktail hour, this thing. And I was like, it's so much after 5 p.m.
Right.
And that's my hard stop. That's my hard stop. We do family dinners.
Yeah.
Even if I'm sitting there working after family dinner, like we're still matriculating in the same house and maybe throwing a card game or something.
Right.
So, but I don't know. When do you think it's time to slow down or drill down?
I don't know. It's kind of an ebb and flow. I think it's,
I'm glad you brought up FOMO. I think a lot of people would just keep saying yes because of the FOMO and then leave business on the back burner.
Yeah, and that
you got to decide, is it the year of the bank or the year of the entertainment?
But I think it's consistent. I think it's something to where it's like what people consider slower months, where people are like, oh yeah, vacationing, doing all these things. That's the time to speed up.
December,
because
people hate when I say this.
I mean, but that's when what you do for 90 days. Let's say you started now. We're getting into a new month. We're going to be into July. It'll be July, August, September. If July, August, September, you put the pedal down and didn't take your foot off, those 90 days. For the next 90 days, you're going to see that production and that money activity from what you put in for those 90 days. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a time where you actually should speed up because a lot of people tend to slow down.
Well, okay, so here's a commercial for my social media training and the coaching, and the training portal that I have.
Get all of it now.
When you're slow,
right?
I tell people all the time, because we own the virtual assistant company, you need to hire, I don't even care if it's people here in your city or virtually, you need to be slow before you hire. Because if you're going to hire when you're at the height, then you have so many clients, you're not going to get that training time in. And
it'll be a mess.
It's going to be a mess. And so I remember my life coach. And so during COVID, he lost a lot of clients. And that's when people are like so scared and trying to save like a couple dollars. And I was like, you know what? I have all the time in the world. I'm actually going to drill down. And I,
learned
more and did all this stuff instead of, redoing my house, which I did make my husband do, or start knitting or,
start knitting.
It was COVID, man. It was weird.
But no, I get what you're saying. Like, you increased your skills. So then once we got out of it, you were ready.
So yeah, if you don't have clients or the amount of clients that you want, here's the time to hire me as your coach, really get into the training, really dial down on your social media,
work on your
views, your growth, whether you're going to start your YouTube or whatever, hire that virtual assistant. And then when it starts exploding, let's say in my industry, those rates touch down on the low 6s or the 5s, you're going to be slaughtered and you're not going to have your systems in place.
I think that brings up a good point. I think that, brings up the point of the choice that you said in the beginning, is that you have to wake up every day and have the choice. Make the choice to be absolutely just smash hit of an agent in whatever business that you're in, and grow yourself now so that, like you were saying, when things are absolutely crazy, all of your systems are in place and it's literally like a cakewalk to you. Even though to somebody else, they might be like scurrying around. They're like, oh, I got to get all my things together. I got to do this. I got to do that. But you're just coasting because you're like, okay, well, I did the work. And I have my systems in place. I have my coach. I know how to do social media. I know what the trends are. I know what's happening.
Well, and like, get your office ready to go no matter what you're doing, and let's talk about systems. So this Friday, I'm diving down into my YouTube class. Okay. So systems in place means this. People get all excited. They fill up that classroom for this YouTube class. And I start with, do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? People think that YouTube is going to make them like my son loves Mr. Beast, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Pick a YouTube star. Here's the thing, when you actually have a real job, so like, let's say real estate. So your YouTube should be filled every time a client asks you a question, you need to make a video about that. And there's other systems that you can put into place. So let's say, the first one, no matter what you do, is why should you work with me? Film a little video about why they should work for you. Me, I'm great. I'm great at numbers. People like me. I'm born and raised here in Vegas. I'm a top realtor. It doesn't matter. Okay. The second one should be like, in my industry, well, how do I work? How do I look at my credit? How do I make sure my credit is good enough too?
Yeah.
And then how do you start a loan? And then what is earnest money? And then what happens?
All of the things.
Your clients will call and ask you the same questions. Different clients ask you the same questions. Why do you keep answering them? Make a YouTube video.
Send them the link.
Well, listen, YouTube gives you a big, long link. There's a way to shorten it, save it in the notes in your phone. And then before somebody gets to that phase of that question, you're going to shoot them over that YouTube link, which, by the way, opens on no matter what type of phone you own.
Or how about you make a playlist and say, hey, you're my new client. Go through all these videos. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, A to Z on how it is to buy with me or how it is to get your house ready to list. And they're like, oh my gosh, she is serious.
But there's something that you're missing in there. So it's like you have all these people that come into your class, right, that are into this YouTube thing. And, it's a lot of people, we've talked about it before on podcasts, like this instant gratification. People think like they make one video and they're going to go viral. That's not the case. Like
hey, I did have it happen to somebody. Congratulations.
But it's one video. That is not going to take you
to stardom.
Well, it's not going to take you to where you want to go for financial freedom, whatever it is that you're searching for, whatever goal it is that you're going for in the industry that you're in, and specifically real estate. Like if you want to be known, whether it's referral based, people know your name, it's like you have clients coming to you, even whether it's slow and quiet or whether it's crazy busy, like you're so consistent. That's the thing, is you can come to these classes, you can learn all of these things, but are you actually going to get into action and make that choice?
Right. So it's like, if you do hop into my training portal, you have me to annoy you every single week. Like you pay me to like crack the whip and be like, how are you doing? What can I help you? Like, what do you need? So like, I'm your little best friend, I'm the little angel devil on your shoulder here to give you a hug and give you a slap.
There's only like 3% of people that'll actually get into action in reality. Over the millions and millions and billions of people in the world, there's only 3% of all of that that'll actually take the action and go for it.
Well, I have the belief in people, so
I do too. But I'm
they're in that portal, I'm going to be like, what can I do to like? And you know what? I don't like when people are like, so much energy. How can I be like you? You're so great. Let me tell you something.
It's not about being like.
Guess how I wake up? Yes, I make the choice to make every day amazing. Like I'm like excited and all the things. But Ryan Serhant once said, and I love him and listen to all of his books. Love Ryan Serhant. That's the name of my emotional support fish right back here. But he said, I wake up scared every day. I wake up scared every day. And you have to have that mentality to where if you didn't get 3 more clients or 4 more clients, you would lose your house or you would lose everything in the bank. Like I do wake up scared. I rode the wave of feast or famine in commission-based job careers since I was 21. So the fear is installed. So people want to know why I have so much passion, action, commitment. It is the fear of not being able to provide for my family. So, there's that. Wake up with intention, excitement, and a little bit of fear. A little bit of fear will keep you going pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
It's being scared. Doing things that literally make you want to go to the bathroom in your pants. I think that's a beautiful place to be because that's where you're supposed to be. And once you get comfortable, like don't get comfortable with being comfortable. get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and you're
that's gonna roll forward.
You'll consistently just hit every goal, hit everything that you need to do, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of what they're saying in the market, regardless of what is happening. You're just going to be in that constant state. And for a while, you're going to get used to that. Mm-hmm. And you just got to keep going.
Just like going to the gym every day for 30 days. Make the choice. And we're going to end with one more thing.
Okay.
So if you want to take this to be a yes month and you want to get yourself out there, you want to get in front of new clients, new people, connect on social media, let's break down the difference. Okay. So realtors. Now, I am a realtor and I sell products to realtors. So me going out to network or go to a happy hour and matriculate with people in my own industry would make sense to me. And it's a brand recognition. If somebody was on the other side of the deal, I'd want them to know my face.
Right.
But for years, I refused to go to any of those networking events because guess what? Is any other realtor in my MLS going to hand me a referral? Absolutely not. So you need to do MMAs. You need to do money-making activities. Okay. So let's even say that I wanted to just like josh around with my family and maybe go up to Lee Canyon, check it out. I haven't been skiing since I was like mid-20s. Well, bet I'm going to bring my equipment and I'm going to make a video about it that I could throw up on my socials because I want people to know Lee Canyon's really cool. Not only can you ski in the winter, but you can, do yoga, sunrise yoga. I mean, I'm the lady in Las Vegas. I hate that word. Why did I say lady?
I don't know.
I'm the lady. Whoa. I'm the redhead. That was okay.
She said, "I'm the
lady." If anybody
lady.
ever calls me lady, like I will just. But
she
I
called
said
herself lady.
That was terrible. Okay. Wow. Anyway. But my point is, if you're going to have an activity, even if you are going to go to a pool, make it a money-making activity. So what money-making activities in my industry would be choosing to go to an open house, choosing to go to a new home build, making those types of connections, taking a video. So really get in your mind, it might be a work event and I might be getting some new headshots. But is it going to be worth your while for 3 hours to get a couple free cocktails and shake hands with people in your industry that will not give you a paycheck?
And I'll add a little bit onto that for money-making activities because Erin, literally, she's so disciplined in what she does now is, another thing to always have a money-making activity no matter where it is that you are going. Be nice to people. Let me just tell you how far that'll get you being nice to people.
Are people mean?
People are mean. People are mean. I mean, it's everywhere I go. I find that the nicer you are to someone or even like going a little bit further past the, oh, hi, how you doing? Conversation really kind of switches things. Because here in Vegas, and it might be other places too, but I've lived here forever. You grew up here. It's all about who you know. So if you're mean or maybe you're not having the greatest day or maybe you have like a slight attitude or things like that and you're going to these events and you're meeting people and it's that one interaction could have a domino effect.
That's a very good point.
Another event or another networking thing or something like that. And let's say like the next day you're like happy-go-lucky and you're like, oh my God, it's the best day. Like try not to be flip-flop and really think about that each person, no matter who they are, if you've never met them before,
does have an impact here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we don't know what they're going through. So if you're literally just go that extra
it's
step.
Still the smallest big town ever.
Yeah, like if you take that one little extra step and being nice to every single person that you interact with, like I feel like that goes a long way into the MMA, to be honest.
Well, we're going to end with, do you know what your brand is? I tell people this and they're like, oh, like, colors or this hashtag or this. And I was like, your brand is what other people say about you. So that ties perfectly into that because your first impression is a lasting impression. So anyway, so I hope you choose positivity like you always do. And
I try my best. I have my days.
Yeah. So I just want our audience to think about, are you going to say yes today? No. And it doesn't have to be chunks of time. Are you going to say yes or no? And how is it going to impact your life, your family, and your bank account?
Make that money, make that choice.
As always, and if you guys are interested in my social media coaching or virtual assistant, you can always look up my website at www.myname.com, Erin Pierson Mills. And I was like, myname.com. And you know what? Signing out. Erin, not Aaron. That's my tagline. That's my
lady of Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Delete this podcast. Delete the podcast.
Bye.
All right. Bye.